Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Hypernova, Escape from Hadea. This game was released back in 2017, but I still enjoy playing it from time to time. It's 12 bucks on Steam, and I've got about 25 hours on record. It takes about 10 to 15 hours per playthrough. And to set up the story here, and I'm just going to read right from the Steam store page because it's easier. So you take on the role of the Cynthians, I think they're called, and realizing it is only a matter of time before an apocalyptic explosion destroys their entire planet, the Cynthians devise a plan to escape and rebuild their civilization somewhere else. Salvation lies in the interstellar transportation device. However, the raw materials required to build and power up such a device have long since been depleted. So they're going to go to the nearby moon Hadea, an inhospitable world with a toxic corrosive atmosphere inhabited by strange creatures, in order to build this interstellar transportation device. That's what you're going to be doing. You're going to land this mothership onto this moon, and you're going to build structures to fight back this toxic atmosphere, all the while growing population and researching technologies and different things like that. Initially, you'll have to find 4 of these special minerals scattered around the level, and you just mine them out. Then you move on to the next step, which is building that interstellar device, as I was saying. And I gotta say, like, it it's a different kind of base defense, tower defense game. There's only one level. It's not like it's broken up into a series of levels. It's just, here's a randomly generated map. I believe it's randomly generated. And you pick a spot to land your mothership, and off you go. And unfortunately, there's no real way to change the map size. There is difficulty settings like easy, normal, and hard, but there's no way to customize that further to make the game even easier, even harder. So unfortunately, what you see is what you get. Again, the game was released back in 2017. I can't imagine developers are going to be updating it anytime soon. It would have been nice to have a lot more in the way of customizable difficulty settings. But as I was saying, you're going to be putting down this mothership. You're going to be placing down various structures. There are something called print amps that you'll be placing down as well. And you have to upgrade each one for whatever reason. You assign 1 upgrade to each print amp, and there's 8 upgrades. So you have to put down 8 print amps and then put one upgrade to each one. And that unlocks even more structures that you can put down. There are turrets that you can put down to defend against enemies. You're going to be putting housing down, but there's also adjacency bonuses. You want to put down like other structures that boost that housing, because housing will determine how far you can get currently in your tech tree. A lot of the technologies are kind of locked out by your population. So you might need 20,000 population in order to even research this thing over here, or 10,000 to reach that thing over there. So you have to put housing down in order to grow this population. And they don't require anything except for like food and water, which you just put near them. And you can buff their housing by putting down like entertainment structures nearby. Now, you've got 3 main resources that you're going to be mining out on this planet. There's like yellow, red, and green. I don't remember their exact names, but you're going to be finding deposits scattered around the map, and you're going to be expanding your territory by fighting back the fog and connecting everything with energy relays, I think they're called. And you're going to be putting these miners down to harvest these resources. And they're finite, kind of, sort of. They'll run out, but then they'll regenerate. So there are times where, you'll have this nice source of income, but then all of a sudden nothing's like coming in. You're like, well, what's going on? You have to check your miners from time to time, because they're probably waiting for that deposit to regenerate before they start mining again. You can manually restart it back up and like start mining out what's been manually regenerated up to that point, but still. Anyway, so eventually, that's the gameplay loop, is fight back the enemies and expand your territory. However, you do have energy, and that is something that will cap you throughout the entire game. You can increase the amount of energy that you get through research, but every building that you put down uses energy. And unfortunately, even with the biggest upgrade regarding like the max energy that you can get, it's still not enough to expand your territory to the point where you can take out the entire map. So for those of you completionists out there that want to take over the entire map or even try to, you're going to be hampered by limited energy. So a lot of times you're going to be like, in the beginning, your territory is going to be so small that it's not really going to matter to you. But as you expand the perimeter of your territory, you have more to defend. So you have to sort of move your turrets around in order to spread yourself a little bit more thin, in order to cover everything, your repair buildings, all of it. You kind of have to move things around, and, that way your perimeter is kind of secure. There are layers scattered around the map, and you can destroy them with a special layer buster or something like that. It's a special turret that you can buy, and you can blow it up. But the longer the game goes on, the harder the enemies get. I I will say though that despite this game's flaws, it's still a lot of fun. Like it reminds me of games like Creeper World in the sense that yeah, it's got that familiar genre like base building or base defense, but it does it in such a way that is very unique and I really can't compare any other games to it because it is that unique. So it's I'm not saying it's like Creeper World, but it's similar to Creeper World in the sense that it's very unique and it's different in what it does. And for that, I wholeheartedly recommend it. Even though it's just the one map and it's limited customization, and there are limitations to what you can do. It's very repetitive to boot. You're going to be expanding, getting energy, researching, fighting off enemies. It becomes this gameplay loop that does get repetitive, but despite its flaws, I still recommend picking it up, especially on a sale. It is a lot of fun. And, the fact that I'm coming back to this, what, 7, 8 years later, I think that's a testament to this kind of game. So if you like base defense with some quirky aliens, oh, by the way, the the narrator has a Jamaican accent. It's just funny. Anyway. Hypernova, Escape from Hadea. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.